welcome back to another episode of This Week in Woz ED Tech. Now, in previous episodes, we looked at stuff that has to do with space, so we're going to keep on that theme this week. Now, you might be familiar with the companies Tesla and SpaceX, but have you heard of Starlink? Today, we're going to be diving into Starlink and seeing how this is going to revolutionize technology and the internet industry as it is today. So stay tuned. Now that we have the Starlink page open, let's talk about what it actually is. As you can see on the home page, there's a picture of a satellite dish, and this should give you a clue. As we scroll down the page, we can see that Starlink will be providing high-speed, low-latency broadband internet. They're currently in the beta stages of rolling out the service, but they are already seeing speeds of 50 to 150 megabits per second, with latency between 20 and 40 milliseconds. This is a huge leap from previous satellite solutions. To give you an example, satellite internet in the past has only provided speeds up to 25 megabits per second, and latency only as low as 700 milliseconds. So, how is this going to change the future of the internet? As we scroll down, you can see on this page that low latency opens up the satellite internet industry to video streaming and online gaming. Now, these are services that could not have been accomplished in the past, or at least not been accomplished with an acceptable experience. As I scroll down a bit further, you'll see that this satellite broadband service is ideally suited for rural and remote communities. These are areas that are primary targets for Starlink right now. With a service such as this, people in areas that had no option for internet service will now have the ability to join the online community and have a fast, low latency experience as well. Now, let's look at some of the engineering that went into creating this service. The key element to providing this broadband service is obviously the satellites themselves. But what type of technology has to be present to make these satellites work? For one thing, they need power. This is provided by a solar array that is built into the satellite. So, let's take a look at the design on this page. By looking at this reference design, you can see that these solar panel arrays make the satellite nearly as big as a football field. And that's huge! So obviously, these satellites need massive amounts of electricity to sustainably run. So what other technology needs to be integrated into these satellites in order for them to work? I can think of another. What about thrusters and sensors? These play a crucial role in keeping the satellites in orbit, as well as ensuring the satellites don't collide with other objects. So, to give you an idea of why this is important, let's take a look at the model of the satellites currently orbiting Earth. This is pretty cool, huh? I can zoom in and get an idea of how many satellites are over the US. I can highlight and see which satellites are actually being tracked. But let's take this a bit further. Look what happens when we turn on the debris field. As you can see, there are so many things currently orbiting Earth. Some of them are active and some are just debris. But this can show you that it's crucial for Starlink to have sensors to keep satellites from colliding. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about Starlink. Join us next week as we continue our Woz ED Tech Talks. Until then, we'll see you next time.